Right, when he says he don't like them, I think he's talking about how he don't like the way that they're officiating the game.
Yes.
Because obviously you can get lost in translation a fair bit there, saying you just don't like them, full stop.
I think you're spot on having to clarify that situation.
So I think I would look. By the way, I would imagine that's what De Zerbi is saying there. He doesn't know what he's seeing from the, and he's not alone. However, I don't see what he gets out of it. Ali saying that. No. I can imagine the referees this morning. They'll all be thinking, "Oh, am I in the 20%? am I one of the 20? Am I in the good books?" But so I don't really see what you. And I know that, again, after a game, someone shoves a mic in front of you and you end up going down a road sometimes where afterwards you think, oh, what was I going on about there? Maybe Roberto this morning might be, and I'm sure one or two are going to ask him about it, but I would imagine he's saying that he just doesn't like the way that they're handling the matches.
I always think, Andy, listen, I'm always leaning towards cutting coaches and managers a little bit of slack for comments immediately at the end of the game. Having been there, and I know people will say, and I get it, no, you should be conducting yourself in this manner and that manner. However, if somebody sticks a microphone right in your face immediately after a game and it's been a controversial game, you're going to get some controversial statements, whether you like it or not. And some of those controversial statements, given time, whether it's 24 hours or 48 hours, might change.
Yes.
So I don't agree with what he said. I think it's extremely harsh. I think some of it probably is lost in the translation a little bit, as you say.
Yeah.
He has done and is doing a fantastic job, right? Absolutely no doubt about it. But I'm giving him a yellow for that one.
And the thing is as well, don't forget, he loses an own goal, wasn't it? I think it was an own goal at the weekend.
Webster own goal,
which gives Sheffield United by the way, a great point for them. I mean, that is a terrific point for Sheffield United. So he's wound up anyway, Ellie. He's a bit fed up that they haven't managed to beat the team that they would ordinarily. They thought they would have probably rattled 2 or 3 past them.
Correct. They got sending off as well, didn't they?
Correct.
My memory serves me right. Right, number 2, moving on. Poch has apologised after admitting he lost the plot at the end of that.
He went for it.
It was. I quite enjoyed it, I must admit. The 8-goal classic at Stamford Bridge. The Chelsea boss was booked after storming onto the pitch at the end to confront referee Anthony Taylor as he claimed the final whistle was blown during an attack. Do you know something? It was a funny one because I think I said to you already this morning, Andy, when I'm watching the game, I think they stuck up 9 minutes, but there was a couple of pauses within that 9 minutes, and I said to the boys, I think we're in for another 2 or 3 here.
Yeah. So
I can actually see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Difficult to defend the way he went about it, but I think he's at a fair point.
No, and of course, if you're in Anthony Taylor's shoes there, Ali, before that starts to develop, that move, before Raheem Sterling gets over the halfway line and then gets towards the edge of the box, imagine if he'd have pulled the plug on it then and blown the whistle just as Raheem Sterling's on the edge of the box about to maybe slip a little pass through to somebody else. There would have been absolute uproar. So he's gone bombed straight away. Anthony Taylor's just blown that whistle before Raheem even gets near the halfway line. So that's probably a good point to actually call the game quits,
Absolutely. Now, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta gave a sarcastic response to the media. That was a comfortable victory for him as well at the weekend. When asked about VAR on Saturday, he heavily criticised the officials following his side's defeat to Newcastle in their previous league game. But speaking after Arsenal's 3-1 win over Burnley at the Emirates, Arteta was keen to praise the officials.
Really happy, and especially as well, and the way we played against Newcastle and the way we played against Seville and today. And we have the right to win all the games, and we are in a really good position. Please ask me about VAR, because today VAR was good. So I hope that I'm on that TV saying, Mikel, the referees are so good and the VAR is so good, and I'm completely with them, and be very constructive. As well, when I said anything, this is the same truth. So put it in there, please, in many pages, in many radios, many TVs, and let's go.
What do you think, Andy? I mean, listen, it gives us a good talking point, doesn't it? We talk about it, but the officials and VAR every week. So the hypocrisy of us, saying it's not a good thing. Do you think we're over the top with it sometimes?
Listen, I think it's an unbelievably tough job that the referee's done. Yesterday, Anthony Taylor was in the middle with the Chelsea City game. I thought he handled it really well. He gave it every chance, didn't brandish cards too often, too soon. Give it a right go, didn't he, Ali, to allow the game to develop. And lo and behold, we got an absolute belter. Maybe that's, others could follow suit there. But look, one week the referees are, you shake their hands with a smile on your face when you've won. The following week, when you've lost, you're chewing nails and you're having a go at them. That's just the nature of the business. The people who I don't think it actually bothers, mate, is the referees themselves, because they know they can't win. Whether one manager is happy with them, the other fella ain't. One set of fans are happy, the other lot aren't.
Correct.
So they can't win.
And we're going to move on to it, because I don't know if you've seen it, and I've literally just seen it 2 seconds ago. Brentford boss Thomas Frank slammed referee Paul Tierney and VAR Stuart Atwell for not sending off Liverpool star Wataru Endo. The Reds midfielder left Christian Nørgaard with a bloody leg after a second half tackle, and Frank wasn't pleased that he stayed on the pitch. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't even think it's a foul.
Again, it should be about the performances, but of course we need to look into it. I think on field, free kick and a yellow, and I think 5 years ago it should be a free kick and a yellow, but the way the game's moved with VAR and the still footage on the situation is a clear studs on Nørgaard's leg, got 4 bloody marks on his leg. I have a clear footage of it, and it's definitely with going over the ball and with extensive force hitting him. But I just want consistency. But I think in general that shouldn't be a red. But with the Curtis Jones against Tottenham, with the Brentford against Copenhagen, and I think with Justice Silva against Newcastle, our player, those 4 should never be red. But if they're red, I just want consistency, and then it's clear red.
Do you know, Ali, I've watched the tackle a few times, and I'm leaning with Thomas Frank here.
Are you?
I am, yeah, because I just, look, it happens so often where you take a touch in the middle of the park, you receive the ball, you take a touch, and it goes like 6-8 foot away from you, and then all of a sudden you're lunging after it, and you don't want to back off. You want to commit to the challenge. However, when I look at Endo, when I look at the way he approached that, I don't see him actually looking to make contact with the ball. Whether he's trying to hook it away from Nørgaard,
he has.
Maybe I think he's trying to just get there first, hook it away. But he don't take any of the ball, and he plants a healthy few studs straight on the Brentford man's shin.
Am I looking at the same tackle? If I'm looking at the same tackle, it does take a heavy touch in the middle of the park, but I think he goes, but to be fair, you don't get it wrong very often in talkSPORT, Andy. However, this time he goes for it with his right foot, and I think his right foot's open. I think the two of them make a fair challenge for the ball. I don't think either of them are malicious. I think Nørgaard probably gets caught a little bit, as you can see there.
Oof. He does get caught. See, because I've been in that position, and I've been on the receiving end of plenty of them, by the way. I have. I've been on
and dish one or two, by the way, just to balance.
Well, I might have the odd one here and there. However, that I thought that tackle was right on the money, that one. Ooh. Right, that's because they're both lunging in for it, they're both sliding, both going for it, but I did think Endo's foot is up a little bit, and I tell you what, I'd have been raging if I was Nørgaard. All right. I'd have got up and the first thing you do, who's done that? Who was it?
Mark Halsey will be joining us at 9:30, and we'll get his opinion on that matter. I'm not too bothered about it. I thought both of them were going for the ball. However,
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.